Scout on Coco. Number 3, we have our third guest in tonight, and another one I am pumped for because we have a lot of questions to get through. So if you do have any questions tonight, make sure to fire away in the chat and we'll try and get them all answered for you. But I'm going to bring him straight on. My boy, Christian. There you go, mate.
Hey, everyone. How's it going? Yeah, great. Thanks for asking. Yourself?
Oh, I'm good, mate. I'm very good. I'm loving that shirt you're rocking there.
Mate, Iron Maiden. I love Iron Maiden. Like, I'll tell you this. I swear every morning I wake up with the song Fear of the Dark in my head. Like,
good too.
I don't know why, but it's – there we go.
Good start. I'm a big fan of Iron Maiden, especially this week because I sold that T-shirt I had of theirs for a couple of bucks. So,
nice.
I was very stoked with that. It was good. Now, I'm gonna fire a question at you straight away, mate. And I know it's something you get asked a lot, but is that Akira T-shirt still for sale?
Mate, how do I even respond to that? You know how many times I still get that, and I'm talking about from people from like all over the world. They, I think they find like the hashtags or something on Instagram, and I'll get like a random inbox from some bloke in Thailand or something asking for this shirt. But yeah, I think that's what made me like on the scene. You know what I mean? Like that shirt kind of like, gave me a few followers, but.
It was your big break. So basically, for anyone that maybe missed you were on Two Aussie Thrifters live stream at one point, and you are on Instagram. So anyone that's not following Christian Forrest Vintage on Instagram, it's in the description, so you can give him a follow. But anyone that isn't sure what this Akira T-shirt is, do you want to tell us what the hell is Akira and what happened there? What's the go?
Mate, I think I'm the wrong guy to ask that, to be honest. If I'm completely honest with you. So apparently it's like a really rare shirt. It's from an anime, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone. I actually don't know too much about it, apart from what I've learned from selling it, apparently for cheap as well. But yeah, it's like a really rare shirt that everyone wants for some reason, and it goes for some good money.
And how much did you actually get for that shirt?
$1,500 plus shipping.
Plus shipping.
It went to the US. Some guy over there.
That's pretty mental. Now, I'm going to start with an Instagram question because we didn't get many Instagram questions actually, but we did have one here from not Box Logo Vintage. And his question was, does it hurt knowing the Akira T sold for $7,000?
Like it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, but I can't help but think that could have been me. Like, I'm happy I still made I bought it for $4. All right. I got it for $4.
Not complaining.
So I'm not complaining, but I wish I maybe knew a bit more. It was, to be fair, it was a bit early on when I first started kind of selling shirts. So maybe I wasn't as experienced as I am today. But yeah, let's say it hurts a little bit, but not too much.
Well, I think you've done pretty well to get a figure on that and get the figure that you or get the price that you asked for. Because personally, if I found that, and without knowing you and without knowing your story, if I found the same thing, there's no way I would have shot for that. So bravo to you, man.
Yeah,
that's a good effort for $4. Just blows me away. So I'm gonna quickly fling into the chat and see who's roaming about. We've got 28 in already, so thanks very much everyone for coming. As I said, Christian's Instagram link is in the description, and Brad has just dropped it too. So get over and give him a follow if you're on Instagram. We've got Byron Pickett in, Chugga-Lugga Toot Toot. Now, I don't know if he's still pumped up from grand final celebrations. He was down there the other day. But, I don't know what's going on there, but Robbie's in with the noodles. Jazz is in, listening while cooking up a storm. I hope Brad's helping out in the kitchen there. Reg is in. Hey. Robbie is saying hello. Rack Raiders is in. Cooking as well. We're cooking up a storm in here tonight. Mossy, my boy Mossy, what's going on, brother? Nice to see you in. Kaz is in. How you going, Kaz? Scotty, Megan. Good to see all the familiar faces again. We've got some lamb salad with feta and pumpkin on the go. That sounds all right. That sounds all right. Look, Mum's Andrew and Sarah. What's going on, guys? Recommerce Dave. Veronica, how you going? And I think I've caught up. Nilly, Gary's in. How are you, Gary? Steph's in and Zach's in. So I think that's we've all caught up with the chat. So we'll jump back on to, well, the subject of T-shirts and vintage because, as your name is, Forest Vintage, is that your favourite thing to sell, vintage clothing?
As of recent, no, because, the whole COVID and everything shut down. I haven't really gone down that avenue. I'm sure we'll talk about what I've gone into later on. But it is one of my favorite things to sell. It's something I think I learned to like or love to sell this year. So yeah, T-shirts. I'm always on the lookout for some good T-shirts, but I'm not like the best seller T-shirts. Let's be honest, but I enjoy it. That's the main thing. Yeah.
And does that stem from a passion of wearing vintage clothes? Do you collect them, or you just
a little bit?
Like you said, you're new into it, obviously, but has that made you want to own some of these pieces, or? Yeah, a little bit.
When I do find a few vintage shirts, it is hard to let go, to be honest. But like at the end of the day, I already have so many, to be honest. I don't need all of them. And it's something I'm learning as I go. Every day, every time I find a new shirt, I get heaps of help from guys on Instagram all over the place. So yeah, it's something I'm learning, but something I like to do.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat as you, mate. I kind of only sort of started selling that stuff myself this year, and that sort of stemmed into the wholesale thing.
It's
and
fun,
I'm learning from people like yourself and Mitch from Retro Rescuers, Sam, Amic Hustler, those sort of people, Brad, everyone's so helpful too. And a lot of the time I go, look, man, this is worth that. I'll give you this. And
there's something about finding vintage shirts like at the Oppies, like it's like when it's vintage, it's like something just clicks and it makes you happy. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like the thrill of the thrift, It's like, yes, it's like you found gold or something. I think that's why it attracts me. Like, yeah.
And you usually know, you normally know you're going to get 3 numbers out of it too, at least for you even more on one occasion. So.
I didn't even know it was worth that much. Like when I found it, I only picked it up because it looked cool, to be honest. That's like how I base all my judgments on shirts. Like that looks cool, I'll get it.
That looks cool. That looks old.
Exactly.
And for the sake of $4, you generally, the way I see it and things like that, because I'm assuming you didn't comp it at the store. Could you not find anything on it?
No, I didn't. I comped it when I got home, and I saw. I think it was on Grailed. One sold for like $800, and that's when I was like, "Holy shit, this is like one of a kind." And then I posted like a very small sneak peek on my Instagram, and I just got bombarded with messages from like the more experienced vintage guys that follow me and I follow. And they were like, they guessed it straight away. I didn't even post a whole shirt. It was just like a very small, tiny bit. And that's when, I got a lot more info and I wet my pants a bit. I was like, okay, we got something on our hands here.
Yeah, beautiful. So I suppose now that'd keep you on edge just as soon as you see anime stuff in general, because I know like a lot of the books and the DVDs and all that sort of thing, anime wise, there's a huge following for it.
Of course. I didn't even know till then. So
yeah, it's I've always known there's been a strong following, but I found something that good. But so when it comes to that vintage style of clothing, and I obviously follow you on Instagram, and quite often you put sales up in your story and you have a lot of good gear there. I follow your Depop store, and there's always a lot of good gear on there. is it always just coming straight from op shops, or are you buying stuff online from other sellers? Or
yeah, before everything shut down here in Melbourne, it was pretty much 100% op shop, a bit of Facebook Market, but not like literally not that much at all. I wouldn't have counted. But yeah, pretty much all op shops. But then I started exploring different ways, experimenting a bit, and I did buy a bit off online here and there from other people. So yeah, now it's probably like 80% op shops once they're back, I reckon. But I'll still, 20% keep looking online. But yeah, I'm not really thrifting online, like grabbing deals or good things I find online. I just prefer to find it in an op shop, I think. Yeah.
Kind of the treasure hunt. That's the fun part, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And as we'll get into your full story in a minute, but as a part-timer, it's that's sometimes the joy of it. If you can find those high-priced items and get yourself an extra $50, $100, or in some cases $1,500 for one item, then you're absolutely laughing, aren't you? So we will just step in and hear a bit of your backstory, because we've only actually seen you on YouTube the once. You did go on Brad and Jazz's stream after that shirt for the $5 thrift challenge, but we want to know a bit more about you, mate. What's happening in your life? What got you started? How did this all come about, and why are you reselling?
All right, let's go from the beginning, I guess. Reselling wise, I think I would say I officially started. I'm not full time or part time, by the way. I'll just put that out there. I just do it literally on the side for a bit of extra cash, I guess, and because I enjoy it. So I properly started at the start of the year. So yeah, literally the start of the year, 2020. But before that, I was selling things here and there on Facebook Market. And by that, I mean just things around the house. Or if someone didn't need something and I saw some value in it, I'll take it and I'll sell that for a little bit. By a little bit, I mean like $10-$20 here and there. And that did get me thinking that, like, hey, I can maybe do more with this. So yeah, reselling's always been there. Even I remember when was it? When I was like in high school, I remember like you know how like in VCE, like year 11, 12, you get like those thick textbooks. And like a lot of other classmates, they'll just chuck them out or whatever. But I will like take them and I'll sell them for like $10-$20. So like even when I was like a teenager, I was like already in this mindset of making money from things people don't need or things people don't really see much value in. So yeah, it started then, and it just progressed, I guess. But it really kicked off this year. Actually, no, last year it really kicked off when I lived overseas. So the missus and I, we lived overseas and we came back to Australia. Things didn't really go to plan. So, I had to look for a job and everything. I pretty much came like with no money, and I just took on reselling for a bit of money on the side. And then things worked out, but I kept it going into this year because I did enjoy it in the end. I do now as well. So yeah, I reckon Facebook Market was there from the beginning, flipping things on Facebook for cash, and then progress into eBay and Depop, and those are the three let's call it like platforms that I only sell, to be honest. Like as I said, as a casual, I'm not too fussed about reselling too much or like anything like that. If you know what I mean, like I just resell casual. Is there any other way to put it? Yeah.
You like the small scale as
exactly.
I suppose a hobby. It's a hobby for you.
Yeah, I do have a full-time job, so I work Monday to Friday, normal job. So it's not something I can pursue full-time anyway or part-time. I think I'm just too busy. So
Yep. So you touched on that. That's a good leeway into that. Do you want to talk a little bit about your full-time job? What do you do for work?
Yeah, so I'm a teacher, a school teacher. I started doing that full-time this year. So it's my career path. It's like what I studied to do. So this year was when I fully started teaching properly at a school full time, because last year I was doing it casually on the side with a bit of reselling there. But yeah, this year I made that step to just go on a full time job, but keep reselling. So yeah, I'm a teacher basically.
Yep, beautiful. Is that high school, primary school?
Primary school.
Yeah, lovely.
I don't look like it, but I am. I am.
Yeah, when I first found out you're a teacher,
it shocks everybody.
Yeah,
everyone has like this misconception or like this stereotype of a teacher. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm a teacher. It was like, what? Are you serious? You look nothing like a teacher. Are you sure you're not like a tradie or I don't know, whatever, anything else? But I'm a school teacher, and that's it.
Yeah, I suppose that goes back to thinking of my time as a kid looking at the teachers. You don't sort of see the younger faces or anything, do you? And I just picture a teacher as an old bald man with glasses. You know, you get
I'm getting there, but not yet. Not
well,
yet.
that could be you in the next 5 to 10 years, but you're looking all right at the minute, mate. So
I'm changing. I'm changing the game. All right, I'm going to get more young males in primary school and change the game. I don't know. We'll see. It's just me.
So obviously, you're enjoying that, and that's your passion because you studied for that.
Yeah.
So I assume that your long-term goals is going to be teaching, isn't it?
Yeah, like if we say in the next 5 years, I still see myself full-time teaching. So it might change maybe later on, but yeah, pretty much that's my goal right now.
Yeah. No, that's all right. So have you found there to be any benefits from teaching that you can sort of translate into your reselling model?
Yes.
There is, yep.
Knowledge on like kid stuff, I guess. Knowledge from what's popular, what is trending at the moment. For example, like when I hate picking up plush, to be honest, like plush toys. I got like a whole drawer of plush toys that have not moved. But once you interact with the kids and you know like what's trending, what's the game they were playing, what's the TV show they were watching at the moment, you get to find these things in the op shops or where you're sourcing, and you pick them up because you know they're popular and they will go fast or they'll be in demand. So that's actually really helped me quite a bit. But that's pretty much it, to be honest. Like just a bit of knowledge from unexpected places. But it's good. It's helped me learn, and it's helped me progress a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of handy having that ball in your park, because that kind of puts you above the rest of us with that. I mean, a lot of resellers have kids, and we can learn these things from our own children. But obviously, I mean, for me, I have a 2-year-old, and I can find all the stuff he's into and sort of work off that. And there has been things that I've found. I'm like, holy shit, this is actually more popular than I expected, just based on being on TV and he likes it. But that's definitely an absolute positive for you with your business. So I'm going to quickly jump back over the chat because we have ignored them for a bit. But Sam dropped in. Sam, Second Life Sales. How you going, Sam? Today,
hey,
Sam, Robin, and Charlie had the Mummers Chat on Robin's channel. So if you missed that, get over and have a look. I actually come into that one late myself. I missed the start. I lost track of time, but I've seen the second half, and I'm going to catch up on the rest tonight. So we do have a question from Robbie Hollywood. Found any Kiss vintage shirts? He's after a 80s Paul Stanley shirt.
I haven't. I found heaps of modern ones, and I've sold them, but vintage, not yet. But if I do, I'll let you know.
And everyone else, if you find one, let Hollywood know. And make sure you charge him double, just because he's a Freo supporter. Jeff's in. How you going, Jeff? My boy Zach. Zach's going to be very interested to hear what we chat about shortly, that's for sure. Drifter Thrifters are in, pumping out videos still, which is good. Get over and give them a follow too. Found a 90s Star Wars shirt, $2. Did a little dance, ordered too.
Nice.
Because they go all right. Christian, contact me as soon as I found a couple of fab single stitches and help me out. Appreciated.
Yeah, I get excited when I see others find stuff as well, not just me.
Yeah.
So yeah, you might see me slide into DMs and be like, "Woohoo, nice."
yeah, I'm a bit the same. You see something, it's a bit exciting. Yeah, you got to give them at least a little fire emoji, or give them. I think the joys of picking something up really good too. If you cop a couple of messages about it when you've shared it, you go, yeah, this is all right, isn't it? I'm sure, although you probably had the opposite in the end with that T-shirt we spoke of, because if you're still getting messages about that now, you'd be
it's died down a bit, but I still get it. So,
Tobe's in. How are you, Toby? Smash that thumbs up for the lads. Yes, we'd appreciate that. Smash the thumbs up, hit the sub button, and follow Forest Vintage on Instagram. Eddie's in. Hey, Christian, enjoy it when you get footy gear. We all love the footy gear.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things to find. Like, you've helped me heaps with a lot of AFL stuff. So, yeah, it's always exciting.
It is, especially when you see that little 90s emblem. You know,
the 90s stuff is, it's the best feeling.
9 times out of 10, you've gone that week. Gone that week. And I think that's probably how we met. We started talking a little footy to begin with. I think
I think I might have messaged you or sent you a photo of something. And I was like, hey, tell me about this. And you helped out, which was great. I think it was a St Kilda 90s jacket. Was it?
I remember that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have that one long, did you?
No, not at all.
That stuff, I'm the same. I mean, everyone that knows me knows I love that shit. And if you can pick up the footy gear, it's just, I mean, you got to get the right stuff. There's reproductions of the 90s stuff these days, and don't get me wrong, they're good quality. They're made by a good brand, and they're official, they're legit, but they're not the actual stuff, and it's not worth the same money. So it's handy to know sort of your differences between those things. But when you get it, you know, you're getting rid of it usually within a couple of weeks if you're not too greedy, but you're still going to get a good price. And for me, because I have so much across 2 stores now, I have so many different items. When it comes to some of that stuff, I know I can fetch a pretty high price. I'm happy to be greedy and jump my price up a bit. So watching this Bargain Hunt on the TV. Bargain Hunt. I haven't seen Bargain Hunt. Must be good if he's got it in with this one. A stepdad who owned 2 pawn shops and sold at the markets every Sunday. Funny to think of what shapes you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You has yours sort of come down from family members? Do you have family members that are sort of hustle a bit, or a bit of reselling, or this has just come out all you?
Well, dad's into. He's not into it, but he does sometimes tip me off on hard rubbish. Dad, I think I'll go into hard rubbish because of Dad. To be honest, he's always been. He gets hard rubbish for useful parts and stuff like that, you know, like washing machines and that. And sometimes I'll go help him like pick up something, but I'll see something else that's maybe a bit worth grabbing as well. So he's probably the only one in my family that also kind of looks for secondhand stuff. But no one else. Just me.
Matty's in, my boy Matty. What's up, mate? Good to see you. And the chat just did a big jump, so I'll try and get back up to where I was. There we are. Sam's saying not enough male primary school teachers, so that's very cool. You're doing it. Yeah, that was.
That's correct.
I thought that might have been a thing in the past, personally, but obviously that's still. How many roughly male teachers have you got at your school?
So this year, so before I came, there was only one. And now I think this year more schools I think they're shifting towards getting males in the system now. So it's an advantage if you're looking to get into primary school teaching, because I think you are more top of, like, you get bumped up a lot. A lot of people are more looking for males now because females, you know, they dominate the teaching industry. Let's be honest. Yeah. But now, like where I work, I think they've employed quite a like 3 or 4 now, and that's growing as well. So it definitely is an industry where there's not many young males like myself, but I think it's getting better. I think it's growing there. Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, if I went to school and had a teacher that was rocking Iron Maiden, I'd be pretty fucking happy. None of mine were. Good on you, Christian. Always think of old farts, not cool young dudes repping Iron Maiden gear. There we go.
I'm changing the game.
Changing the game.
Get on it.
Got to be tempting to be a supply teacher, better money, more time for thrifting. Halfway through teaching degree and realised I don't like other people's kids. Yeah.
That is correct. When I was a supply or a casual relief teacher, I did have more time because obviously it's not a full-time job. Some days you'll get called to work, some days you won't. So the days I wasn't, like, I could wake up early and spend all day going to op shops. Which it's great, but in the end you don't have a full-time job, so it's like a bit of both negative and positive there. Yeah.
Jazz, clueless on kid stuff. What the heck is a Paw Patrol? Spelled like that, Paw Patrol is a bunch of homeless people patrolling the streets looking for hard rubbish. But I think the one that
that's
you're
me. So
PAW is I think they're police dogs. I think it's been on here before, but I don't pay a whole lot of attention to it. But bloody great leg to have up knowing what all the kids are into. Well, I'm definitely way behind in the chat at the minute. So we'll quickly catch up. Don't discount the plush. I found a bear from '93 for $1, sold for $120.
Wow. I wish I had that luck with plush.
Yeah, I used to pick it up a lot when I started doing this stuff.
Yeah.
I used to love it. And I don't really know why. It was just kind of your 50-cent flips into, like, the good ones were your $20 and stuff, and I was sort of happy with it. But now, man, unless I do see the odd vintage thing, I don't even really look at them anymore.
I'm the same, I think.
Can't be bothered with them. Jacob's in. What's going on, legend? How you going, Jacob? Good to see you, mate. Samson's in. Dropped another video today, Sam. It was a good watch. They are allowed to advertise for male teachers now. Couldn't do that before.
Oh, there you go.
Didn't even know they couldn't do that. Saucy Snacks. Love that name.
Cool name, yeah.
Everyone's saying g'day to Samson. Yeah, beautiful. So I'll get rid of that. So while we're still talking about the school kids and stuff, because you're often on Instagram now, you chat, you show your face, you're a pretty laid back dude and you don't mind having the odd cuss word and all that sort of stuff. Are you worried that the kids are going to find you?
Not really. I don't know. I actually never thought about it, but not really worried at all. As you said, I'm laid back. If they find out, oh well, I do this, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not really.
When you, I know it's only young and it's primary school, so it's probably a bit early for it. But would you sort of try and not push, but mention reselling and hustling as such to the kids in some way, shape, or form? Actually, a better question: if you're going to do it, pretend I am the chat's the class, right? They're a bunch of snotty-nosed little 8-year-olds, and they want to know. Well, they don't really care what you have to say, but you want them to, find that hustle in them. What would you tell them?
I don't know. I don't know.
Put on the spot here.
I've spoken about like op shops, like recycling, reselling. We discussed that, so that the topic does come up, and then I can ask, like, who's been to an op shop, like who buys things from op shops, and that leads on to like other things, I guess. But I don't know. I haven't thought about that, to be honest.
You need to put down.
I didn't try to think about that.
Bit of preparation involved. In that. I suppose there is when there's teaching. It's not like YouTube. You just can't wing it, I suppose.
exactly.
So you've mentioned the curbside hustle a bit, and that's something I definitely want to touch on because it's something that you seem to do more than anything. Am I right? The hard rubbish is your main.
Definitely now in the past 3 or so months, I've really upped my game on that. And yeah, I've been going harder than anything else with finding trash, I guess you could say.
It appears to me there's quite a bit of treasure in there because following your stories, I'm absolutely blown away by the stuff that you pick up because the hard rubbish side of things, I mean, I'm only, about 100 to 200 kilometers away from you.
Yeah.
But we don't have it here. So I'm country boy.
Yeah.
It's the only time you get, I mean, you might get the odd house. There might be a couple of things laying out on the lawn.
Yeah.
But it's pretty rare. Most of the time these days they advertise it on Facebook. So it's gone like that. But you just seem to have, it just seems to be everywhere. Is that a scheduled thing? Is that only once a week, once a month? Or is it just
definitely in the past 3 months or this year actually, because of COVID again, it's affected a lot of people financially, I guess, and it's made like a lot of people in my area, what I've seen at least, either they have to like leave their house for whatever reason, so that's made them put more rubbish out, if that makes sense. A lot of people are like moving houses or whatever the reason is in the past 3, 4, 5 months. So that's what I've noticed. Because before this, like last year, there would not have been as many hard rubbish piles as this year. That's something like I've noticed. So yeah, it's something new and different because of what's happening in the world, I guess.
Yeah. And you touched on sort of helping your old man out going around the piles. Is that pretty much exactly what got you into it? Is that where it all started?
Yeah, at the beginning, it was that, and then he would just be like, oh yeah, just saw like a fridge, let's go grab it. And I'll be like, all right, let's do it. And it's like 10 p.m. and I'm trying not to like get caught by, you see like the curtains opening, and it's awkward at the beginning. Like, it is awkward and it's hard and you feel embarrassed, but as time goes, like they don't really care. I've never met anybody that cares that you're going through their trash. Maybe one guy actually, but everyone's so cool with it. But yeah, that did get me into it. And then I started going out solo and I started learning through experience and time what the best days and times of days are to go out and look. And it's not at night, so it's usually on weekends. When it's not a rainy weekend as well. That's very important. Like so many things factor into finding treasure. There's just so many things. You get lucky some weeks you don't. So that's how it is. Yeah.
And so you touched on that. One of the other questions that did come on Instagram came from Toby, Captain Op Shop Nerd, and he wanted some tips. He wanted some tips for when old people stare at you in shame for going through their hard rubbish.
Like, like you just got to keep going, I guess. Like once you're caught and there's eyes locked on you, you can't do much except keep going and get out as soon as you can. Like the one guy, I've had one guy only. He didn't say anything to me, but he came out his house and he just stood there, with his arms folded and gave me a mean look. And I was just like I gave him a wave, but he just kept looking at me. And that was like probably the worst situation. Like I've never been like abused or chased away or anything. Just stared at, and like you shouldn't be scared of someone staring at you or embarrassed. But it does take time to build up that courage. It does take time because I used to go at night when more people are probably sleeping or there's not that many people on the road driving by or going for a walk. But now I go pretty much just during the day, 99% of the time now. Yeah.
I definitely enjoy watching the videos that you do when you are going out. Another one that's Leanne's in. So how you going, Leanne? Good to see you. my boy Zach, you'd be very familiar with Zach. He has he loves the hard rubbish as well.
Stuff.
And it's not something that I see a lot of in Australia, or content anyway. So I appreciate that you put your videos out, because I love watching that stuff, because it's not something that I get to experience. If I did, I'd be keen to have a go at it. But sort of when Zach was putting videos out, I used to love watching Zach's stuff and been following you along. There has been a couple of others. I know Daniel, Stone in Your Own Lane, he's picked up some pretty cool stuff out of hard rubbish too. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people that do it, but I just don't see a lot of that content. So I love what you're doing.
Thanks.
I've noticed too, now your fiance comes along for the ride sometimes. She's been in your videos and stuff. Does she have the passion you have, or is she just kind of tagging along?
At the beginning, it was more like come on, let's go. Let's just give it a go, one chance. And I think there was like an item we found, and it sold her. She was like, all right, let's do it all the time now. I can't remember what it was. It might have been like we found this pile. It was like in a hidden street, so no one's seen it. We found it by chance, because I was walking the dog, and we found it by chance. And I came later with a car, and what did I find? I found like a whole box of like brand new puzzles or something like that, it was about 10 altogether, brand new, still in the pack, and I sold them all like really fast. And I also found like a Harley Davidson, like an Esky or a cooler or something, which went for pretty good money. And then I found like all these little animal statues. She did actually. And I think since that day, that was like 3 months ago now, now she's the one who's egging me on to go for a drive to find hard rubbish. Like sometimes like, I can't be bothered, but she's like, come on, we got to find furniture. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So it works both ways now. She, I think she's a bit more reluctant in getting caught than I am now. But we're both used to it. We both love doing it. It brings a bit of cash in, and it's fun. It's fun finding cool stuff. A bit like op shopping and finding a vintage shirt. When you find like something really cool in trash, it is like you struck gold. Yeah.
It's good that you can sort of you've obviously already got a connection, because you're engaged and everything, but just having that where you can go out together, and it's I think that's great, absolutely great. So I'll just quickly do a catch up here, see what we've missed in the chat. If I can get back up. Leanne's in. We did say hello to Leanne. I found out it was today or yesterday I've been spelling her name wrong for a while. So I'm lucky she didn't cut me fingers off. The Aussie Tip Rat. What a night. We've got the Aussie Tip Rat and Saucy Snags in. So that's great. Leanne, can't believe Christian's a teacher. All my teachers were nuns.
Here I am.
So much trash, treasure, potential. People throw away the craziest stuff. Yeah.
They do. Really, they do.
No hard rubbish in Canberra. Always go to the rich suburbs. Definitely. Is that something that you try to do?
Not really, to be honest. Not really. As you know, like here in Metro, we had like that 5K limit. You can't live within 5Ks of your house. So it kind of did restrict me just to my suburb and maybe like a bit of the neighboring suburb. But it's something I've thought about for sure, but I just haven't had a chance, because I didn't really need to. There's so much around where I am that I don't need to go further out. But it's something I like to try for sure.
A bit of delay there. 80% of what I sell comes from the hard rubbish. Yeah, Zach's killing the hard. I just still remember the last video he put up with all these designer shoes and stuff, and so much good stuff. It's just like, man, like I suppose people that are literally swimming in money do not give a shit, do they? They just throw it out. That's just
mental. They don't know what they're throwing out. They just don't know.
Nah.
So to them it means nothing, but to others it's like everything.
Absolutely. It's just it blows me away. And as I said, I don't get that opportunity, but Look, what I'm going to try and do is come up and see you sometime once all restrictions drop and everything settles down, and you're going to take me on tour.
Let's do it.
We're going to film a YouTube video and we're going trash picking because I'm itching to get into it.
But the thing is, like, it's so unpredictable because some weekends everyone's throwing out trash, but then other weekends there's like nothing. So it is a bit of a gamble sometimes. So there's that as well.
Yeah. When you say gamble, though, I mean, generally you got to outlay some cash, and that's the bonus with trash picking, not outlaying cash.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a good thing. And even if you're just picking up something that you're hesitating on, you're obviously not going to be going through a dumpster going, looking at pumps, are you? It's just you grab it and go. Another thing you mentioned before too was furniture. Now, week one of this little chat, I spoke to Matty about some furniture. He's been flipping it constantly. He's always talking about furniture. He loves it and he does awesome on it. And I know you do pretty well out of it too. Is that one up there with one of your favorite things to sell?
As of late, yes. I've been flipping furniture maybe before all this, as in maybe like a few things around the house that we don't need anymore. But since I started looking for hard rubbish more often, I've noticed that a lot more people throw out furniture. And it was literally, I discovered this through trial and error. I think it was a bedside table. And it wasn't even the best bedside table. If you saw my Instagram post I did a couple of weeks ago, I put a few pics up of like the worst looking things that sold really fast. And that's what got me more into it. And that's how I learned trial and error. Like bedside tables go really well. This doesn't go really well. This goes really well. This doesn't go really well. And then I just started connecting all that. And it became one of my favorite things to do, to pick up, for sure.
I love it. And it's funny when I speak to anyone now, since talking to Matt the other week, I've spoken to a few people that actually have sort of reached out and they said, oh, yeah, I'll flip a bit of furniture. If you want a hand, let me know. Yeah. And it's sort of, you talk to the people that do it and they love it. They're obsessed with it. So,
I've been saying it for ages. It's so underrated. Like if you want to start reselling, something like furniture is so simple. And you also need the space, of course. Like if you got a garage or a shed or something, like you do need the space. That's the only thing. But it's so simple to flip furniture and to learn furniture. It's such a great starter and a great way to make fast money. Furniture is always in demand. That's what I've learned, especially Facebook Market. I don't think anything I picked up furniture-wise has stuck around for more than like a week or two. Even if it's not in the greatest condition. If it's a drawer, it's got the handles, it works, it'll sell.
So you pick it up in the hard rubbish. Do you buy a bit of furniture off Facebook Marketplace as well?
No, I haven't actually, but I've picked up free furniture advertised on Facebook Market.
Yep.
So I guess it's the same thing. I just got it for free instead. But yeah, I've picked up free furniture on Facebook Market and I flipped that pretty well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're comfortable using the same account on Facebook Marketplace, or do you run two accounts?
I've been asked this quite a few times actually on my Instagram, a few people that were scared to resell another Facebook ad. And I've been comfortable with it. I've never had an issue. I've sold heaps of stuff, like hundreds of stuff on Facebook Market. And I've never had an issue with reselling someone else's thing. But the most important thing is make sure you read the description, because sometimes people might post like, hey, I want this to go out to a family in need or something. Those are things I don't touch because like I'm just getting it to resell and make money for myself. But if someone else can benefit from it for free, like I'll let that go. But if there is like someone on Facebook that's like, hey, I just need to make room, I'm moving out, all this is for free, then that's something I might go for. So there is a difference with that as well to keep in mind.
No, I love that. For me, with the Facebook Marketplace, when I started flipping a bit of stuff on there, early days, I made the secondary account because where I live's a bit different to you, I
Yep.
suppose. Melbourne being a big place, our population consists of about roughly 100,000. It's a small town. Everyone seems to know each other
Yeah.
around the joint. So it's kind of, you put something up, and if you're going to see it again, I was always paranoid. I sort of get that message and then have to, just deal with it. So I did have the 2 accounts there for a bit, but then I found myself listing things on Facebook Marketplace. A week later, oh shit, I better check that account. I could have sold it 8 times, and then I haven't responded to any messages. So now
I actually started like that. Actually, I had another account and I started like that, but then I was like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I've had no trouble since. So yeah, I know where you're coming from.
I ended up. Well, to be honest, I stopped selling on Facebook a long time ago, and I put all my focus. And it wasn't so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I still sold on Facebook. I sell niche products to not on marketplace, but to niche groups, and I just found I was using a lot of time to be on all these different platforms before I planned to be a full-time reseller. So I kind of took the focus away from Facebook because I just didn't have the time to be talking to people about items for however long. And I put a post on my Instagram today just about someone, asking all these questions and stuff. And it's just like, that kind of shits me. And
It's
so
annoying,
I know, like Matty said, he didn't mind it. And it gave him the opportunity to actually talk someone into buying the item rather than it just kind of sitting on eBay. Do you find that? Do you mind chatting with people about stuff? Because I know you've put up some pretty funny shit on yours too, where you've had to deal with some absolute gronks.
Mate, like I've had the best combos, the worst combos. I've been thinking of putting them all together, like all the screenshots and doing a montage or something. Like Facebook Market is pure comedy at times. Like it's hilarious what people message you about, even when it's like all the negative stuff. But I've had a few people also ask me like the history of the item, if it's something I picked up secondhand or on the side of the road, and some if they ask about the condition, the measurements and all that, like I will go out of my way to properly give them as much info as I can. But I don't say it's from hard rubbish or I bought it secondhand to resell. I don't say I'm a reseller. Like, hey, I'm a reseller, by the way. I don't do that. But yeah, like I've had those people, like you mentioned. For example, I think I don't know if you saw those bike helmets I was selling that I picked up on the side of the road. They were in pretty good nick. Everything was working, but I think one of them had like a scratch or something on the back. And some guy messaged me. He's like, "Oh, you effing this and that. Like some kid's gonna break their skull wearing this." And I didn't reply. I just like blocked him, whatever. But then the next day someone came and picked it up, and like I tell them like, "Hey, by the way, there's this mark on the back. It's a little scratch. It doesn't affect the quality. It's just like a little dent in the back." And they're like, "Yeah, that's fine. Like I'm cool with that." So it's also about being specific with your items if they are not yours, if they're secondhand. Because I have accidentally sold a few things that were a bit broken. That was my fault. But it's always been easy. I've always like refunded and taken responsibility. There are some people out there who don't do that. So it's really important you do that. And it does reflect. I got like all 5 stars, I guess, ratings. So I think that does reflect on the seller I am on Facebook Market, especially.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's always, I had an issue the other day. I, as you know, sell a lot of footy jumpers, and I had a Collingwood one. It was team signed. It had the whole club had signed it, and I just thought I'd put it in the local swap and sell groups as well. And as soon as I put it up, I just had some dickhead write on it, fake, give you $50. I took the bait. That's the problem. I should have just deleted the comment and blocked it, but I had to respond. And I suppose my response was that I had a certificate that can prove otherwise. I probably should have dickhead on the end, but
I've stopped posting on those buy and sell like groups. I just don't do it because there's so many dickheads on that. Like I don't know. I just don't sound those buy, swap, sell, whatever groups. I just purely just do it on Facebook Market now. But if it's something very specific, like an AFL 90s jacket, I will put it on like an AFL 90s group. But those local buy swap sale groups that a lot of people are part of, I never post on that because I've just seen the negativity and the crap that goes on there, and I don't want any of that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got. I mean, when you list on Marketplace, it gives you the option to share to those groups, and I did it.
Yeah.
Thought the bonus that I got out of it, I thought it was putting more eyes on the product because being a specific item, being a football team's jumper that's signed by the team, and my prices are pretty cheap compared to what you'd pay in store. So it's a pretty good deal. And the joys of it, so many people see it, and then they tag all their Collingwood mates. And that's kind of what I wanted, which would get more eyes, because not everyone's on Facebook Marketplace specifically looking for that, whereas they might do an impulse buy and see it and go, fuck yeah, I want that, I need that. That was my sort of way of thinking when I actually listed it. But after I just, like, that comment just annoyed me, and I had to respond to it. It got the better of me, and then it's just like, no, I'm the same as you now. It's just, unless I have certain niche items, it's just going straight on Marketplace for me. We'll catch up with this chat. We're at the 50-minute mark, mate. We're nearly done already. So that's just
already
absolutely flown. Hard rubbish. Webbers are the best. Have you picked up a Weber?
What's a Weber?
Like a barbecue, the big Weber.
Oh, no, I see barbecues all the time. I never get them, mainly because they don't fit in my car. But I don't know anything on barbecues. But I reckon that's something I could look into, actually.
Yeah, definitely look in the Webbers, the big smokers. They're people absolutely love them. They're worth good money. I've never sold one. I mean, I don't know what to look for, but Rack Raiders are obviously picked them up, and Zach knows about them too. So I mean, I'd be hitting them up because I got a couple of mates that are right into that sort of stuff, smoking their meat and all that sort of shit, and they pay big dollar for a brand new one. I know that much. Right. So if you can pick one up in hard rubbish, you'd be probably doing all right. Michael's in. What's going on, Michael? Good to see you, mate. Looks like we've got a fair way to scroll in this chat, so I'm just going to try and get down it pretty quick. The junk removers in. We resell items we find in our jobs. I assume you can't do that. I assume you can't sell the kids off.
No, I can't sell kids. I can't sell school stuff, sadly.
Hey, lads, doing well. Got to love the hard rubbish finds. Yeah, he's
done good stuff.
Dan picked up that basketball jersey and sold it for $1,000.
Yeah, crazy. Wow.
Mental. Yeah, it was a good bloody ripper. Wish I was swimming in money. Don't we all? Anyone want a couple of thousand books? Going good. Righto. Here we go. A bit of a tip off here from Zach. Check the local council website. Some tell you when hard rubbish is on. Also search Facebook for hard rubbish groups, and they post where it's at. So,
yeah, I've done all that, actually. That's a good tip for people who are starting out. And the thing is, every council's different. The one where I live in, there's no like set time in the year like there used to be. Now you have to book it yourself. So it kind of makes it harder for people like me. We have to more like drive around and find something out of luck, I guess. But I know there's a council over next to me. They have a certain time of the year where everyone puts out rubbish. So yeah, it depends on all councils. Definitely check websites out and find info there.
Good tip off there. Modern Vintage Vogue's in. There you going? Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Paintings and pictures go super well on Marketplace.
They do. Did you see recently I sold those two, like those Buddha paintings or something?
Yeah.
Every time I see a picture or a painting, I definitely grab it, especially if it's in good condition, if it's something unique. If it like I say, if it looks cool, grab it. That's my form of judgment, I guess. If I see like this really cool, weird looking thing, I'll grab it, and it will sell. But the thing with painting and pictures is sometimes, more often than not, they will sit around, but they will sell. That's from my experiences.
Yes, there are a few rotten eggs here in the reselling world, but Christian's definitely not one of 100%. Them. He's an absolute pearler. So
Thank you.
Totally agree with grabbing free stuff off Facebook. If it's free for a person in need, I'll leave it. Yep. No,
Yeah,
that's
you
good.
don't want to be that guy that, you don't want to be that guy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mel's in. Good to see you, Mel. Thanks for dropping in. And you get star ratings on Facebook Marketplace now, Leanne's asking.
Yeah, Facebook Marketplace, it's come a long way. I think they just updated it recently where you can create like a template now for selling things. It's definitely trying to copy like a bit of eBay, but trying to keep it free and local. So they're definitely upgrading Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
But I think it's different within countries as well. Because I don't know if you know, but you can search Facebook Marketplace in another country.
Yeah, yep.
Have you done that? Yeah.
Yep, I've done that.
Yeah, it's weird, but it is weird. It's different for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Leanne's from Ireland. So
Yeah.
I'll just try and catch up with this because we're nearly done here. We're at the 55-minute mark. So here we go. Recently sold a vintage Weber kettle for $250 in 24 hours. So there you go. Well, Weber kettle as well. I was just thinking of barbecues, but get on the kettles.
There we go.
I'll draw these in. What's happening, brother? Good to see you. I'll just try and scroll. Daniel's out once or twice a week just to check what's around. If there's anything, usually Sunday and a Monday.
Sundays are the best.
Zach saying Christian is like a brother from another mother. Zach's been teaching this year as well. He
really
COVID period he had to homeschool his daughter Lucy, so he's
like many parents, actually, well. There we go. Nice.
If anyone needs Weber info, message me. Weber's a year dated on the top. The code guys want birth years. Colors are worth big money. There you go. So Rack Raiders. If anyone needs a hand with Weber, get on to Rack Raiders. Mitch and Aaron are in. Retro Rescuers. Good to see you. They must have heard us talking about vintage T-shirts earlier on. We all know they. I think he frothed on that shirt you had, didn't he?
We've done a bit of business before. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. He's they're another couple that I'm hopefully going to catch up with soon.
Yeah.
Once I'm allowed back into Melbourne. The Weber kettle is the Dome Smokers barbecue. So look, we're at the 57-minute mark. We're nearly done. For anyone that's in the chat still, we appreciate it. There's 47 still floating about, so thanks everyone for hanging on. If you are on Instagram and you don't follow Christian, he regularly, I think every day, putting up good stories of his hard rubbish and his op shop pickups and just general day life. I love following him. He's a really good guy. So I've dropped his link in the description below. Get over and give him a follow. Say good day to him. He can help you out with all sorts of things, vintage T-shirts, vintage clothing, a bit of hard rubbish and all that sort of thing. And look, if you need a bit of teaching too, he's a school teacher, so he might be able to brush you up on the knowledge. Break the rules, come over. It's tempting. We're only a few weeks away though, I think. So we've waited, I think it was March, teed up with
Mitch. It's been so long.
We're going to go for a bit of a thrift together, and then we all got locked down. So we've waited that long. I think we can wait a little bit longer. So we'll do a final plug on the Instagram. Now, what's coming up? Any plans on Instagram? You're just going to keep going with the motions, social media in general?
Yeah. Interesting things coming up as op shops are opening again. I do try to get down to the local ones when I can. It is a bit hard now. But look, we're in the final year of the final term of the year at school. So that does mean holidays coming up. So there will be more stuff going on my Instagram, hopefully. We'll see about that. But I'm going to keep every weekend, keep going out to check out local trash piles and see what's around.
Yeah, beautiful. I love it. As I said, I enjoy seen all your content and I've been following along. We've been talking for a little while now. I think you added me on Facebook there to start with, and I didn't know who you were. I thought who's this shady looking
That's
bloke?
a bit creepy, isn't it?
Yeah. We got chatting away.
Yeah.
And I've been enjoying it. So we've been back and forth helping each other out with a few things. So, look, we're going to make this a thing. when everything's open, I'm coming up your way, mate. We are going track picking.
Let's do it.
It'll be a video. It'll be up on YouTube for everyone to see everything we do. Even if we don't get anything, we'll have a good day. We'll stop into the pub and have a couple of frothies.
That's right. That's right.
That's the final question. It's been the question every week, and we're tied at 1-1 so far with our first two guests. Do you like VB?
Yes, I don't mind a good very best every now and then.
That's my boy. That's my boy. I knew I liked you. So we're at 2-1 now. So I'm very happy with that. So thanks so much, everyone. We're going to see this one out as we have the last few weeks with a quick fire question. So hope you're ready, Christian.
Fire away.
Facebook or eBay?
Facebook.
Instagram or YouTube?
Instagram.
Op shop or hard rubbish?
Oh, I want to say op shop actually.
Teaching or reselling?
I want to say teaching.
Vintage t-shirts or vintage AFL?
Vintage t-shirts.
Clothing or furniture?
Clothing. These are hard.
Chinese food or Mexican?
Mexican.
Akira or anything else?
Bloody anything else all the time.
Love it, brother. Thanks so much for coming along. It's been great.
Thanks for having me.
Everyone, make sure to thumbs up, sub, go over and follow Christian. Next week, I'm pumped. Another awesome guest coming on. We've got Sam Hammock Hustler to come and talk some vintage clothing, some wholesale and all that sort of stuff. So very pumped to get Sam on. So make sure to come over. Now, this chat will be up on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud, and hopefully eventually the other three that I've been told to get on. I can't remember what the fuck they're called because I never heard of them, but they'll be on them as well. So, you know, if you want to just have a listen, you don't want to look at our ugly mugs, get over and listen to them. So thanks very much for everyone for coming in, and we will see you next week.